Guys, this is Louisa, and today we're going to talk about Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why. It was a book that was recommended to me by my yoga teacher. Thank you, Kate, for that. I just love the magic that books have to remind you of the things that you deep down inside know, but you need a little reminder to incorporate them in your life. Simon wrote the book after a period of time where in his life where he just didn't feel connected. He didn't feel the passion for the work he was doing. And I personally know a lot of people that are struggling with that. I myself struggled as well, and I believe everyone at some point is going to struggle with this particular topic. That's why I believe this book is very important, and I do recommend it to anyone because it offers a different perspective of how things could be done, a different perspective on life in a way, of living from a more authentic place that's deep down inside you. And it's funny how a simple question like why, a question that for sure all of us annoyed the heck out of our parents when we were little and trying to make sense of the world, is still true. And how much I remember as a kid, how much the adults don't actually know why some things are, or some things that they do, they just repeated it over and over again without questioning the reason behind it. And that's why I think this book is a powerful it's a powerful book, and something that everybody needs to read. It doesn't help you find your why. It just gives you a reason to go search it, and it inspires you to do so. Yeah. He gives a lot of examples of leaders, important people throughout history, and economy, and different industries that were so connected at a deeper level, that with their why, with the reason they were doing the things that they were doing, that a lot of people connected with them, and oftentimes those people were thinking and acting and behaving and communicating differently than everybody else. It was such an opposition, and that inspired a lot of change, inspired action, inspired a lot of shifts in beliefs, in perspectives, and shifts in how things were done in different industries. So that's very powerful, and it's a very powerful place to be living to be leading a life out of that deeper, more meaningful and close to yourself place. He does give a lot of examples from business, but I do think there are analogies that could be shifted into life to life, day by day, into real life. If you choose to do so, there are a lot of great lessons here. And it makes a good point that our brain is made up of a rational brain and our emotional brain. And our emotional brain is where feelings and behaviors and habits and beliefs stem from. And the funny thing is, it's not as accessible because it doesn't have a language component that the rational brain does. The rational brain is just, well, it rationalizes decisions and behaviors and just explains the world in language, but it doesn't provide that. It's hard to say it in words, that oomph of life, that why at the end of the day, that is held in the emotional brain. So people that are able to bridge the emotional brain and the rational brain, or teams, because it's usually teams of people that are able to do that. Just the impact that they're having, and the change and the purpose that they inspire is far greater. So for everyday people, it's hard to bridge that gap between the emotional brain and the rational brain. And a lot of companies have that difficulty as well. You don't have necessarily, those companies don't necessarily create the loyalty that that belonging, that feeling of belonging, because you don't connect to them to in a deeper way. You don't know why they do what they do. They might be good at what they do, but people don't necessarily buy what you do. They buy why you do it, because people are not necessarily interested in what you do. That doesn't provide, that it doesn't ignite them. What ignites them is how you make them feel. And it's just a different perspective to how, in this fast-paced world, where everything is instant gratification, this route is a little bit more, not necessarily hard, but it's something for the long run, because it takes so much more work and fulfilling work, nevertheless, to touch hearts, or to touch the emotional brain of people by the things that you do. Yeah, I can't recommend it enough. And also, we're gonna on the group Full Spectrum Vibes, we're gonna do some weekly challenges where we try to be more aware of why we do things. Not necessarily, I'm not gonna help people find their why, because I think it's a personal journey, and every person is different. and it's something that they need to take responsibility of. But just creating more awareness of how much we're disconnected from why we do things in our day-to-day life. And I know it's going to be challenging. That's why it's challenges. But I think it's going to provide so much more insight, so much more fuel in a way. So I'm happy to invite you along. Thank you for watching this, and have a great evening. Bye, guys.